Hello, everyone, and welcome to our discussion on the transformative power of passion. I am Ann Bost, and I'm joining me. He's my partner, great partner, esteemed Steve Costello. Today, we will delve into what it means to be passionate and how this can impact various aspects of our lives. Passion is a strong feeling of enthusiasm, of excitement for something or doing something. And it's a driving force that motivates individuals to pursue their goals and interests with energy and dedication. So, to start this powerful discussion, I would love to share with you a little part of my journey. Throughout my career, I've embraced my passion for personal development and continuous learning. And all of this passion has driven me to change my job several times, always seeking new challenges and opportunities to grow. And my ability to embrace change permits me to meet different jobs because I was motivated to change, to learn new opportunities, to learn new skills. And every career shift I've made has been driven by a desire to learn new things and expand new horizons. And I can inspire you today, tell you that this adaptability has allowed me to thrive in diverse roles in industry. And it's not a fulfillment in my professional life, it was also a fulfillment in my personal life also. So this strength and my experience about passion and finding your passion and how it can help you to live fulfilled, it's a great point today that I want to share with you with Steve. And Steve, I have a big question for you today. I take some notes for sure. Can you share a moment with us in your life when your passion drove you to achieve something significant, and how did it shape your journey?
Yeah, I've got quite a few examples of that, I think, but I'm going to go with perhaps a simple version. So when I was coming up to the point of leaving school, my parents wanted me to go and work in a local industry, which happened to be British Aerospace because of where we lived. It was the nearest big industry. And it was good to work for British Aerospace because the training was excellent. The conditions of employment were great. They looked after the people who worked for them. They paid good money. They gave good holidays, blah, 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 blah. There was lots of good reasons to work for this company. But for me, there was no good reason to work for that company because I had no passion whatsoever in helping to build military aircraft. I just was not interested. And I knew that that was not where I needed to be. Where I needed to be was working with young people and community groups, working with young people and their families on challenging situations relating to the journey of adolescence, for example. I knew, even at 18 years of age, that that was what I wanted to do. But my mum said, nope, you're not doing that. You're going to work at British Aerospace. So I did do the British Aerospace thing for 5 years and then said, no more, I'm going traveling, because I wanted to learn about the rest of the world. I knew that there was a big world out there and I needed to know about other people because I was interested in people. That was my driving force, this need to be connected and to learn about how we can connect with one another, even through different cultures and so on. So I traveled loads and enjoyed that feeling of connection with different cultures, the people of different cultures. And then I said, okay, now I need to go. After traveling for a couple of years, I then said, Now I need to go to university and study this stuff about working with young people, about social psychology, for example, of working with young people, and counseling. I needed to be a counselor, to be a qualified counselor. So I needed to learn all of that stuff so that I could follow my passion. And toward the end of the course, it was in the winter of the final year of the course. So it was a degree program. I was the first one in the group to get a job. And I believe I got that job because I was absolutely passionate about what the organization I wanted to work for were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited. I remember it today. I was thrilled that they asked me to go for an interview. I was thrilled that it was in London on a very big and difficult housing area, or what we would call a housing estate. So I was very excited about the whole thing, and my passion was shining because I was being given the opportunity to follow my passion. And I did that for many, many years afterwards. And I always knew I was in the right place. You know, those Monday mornings that you hear people talk about when they say, don't want to go to work today. Oh, I really didn't feel like getting out of bed to go to work this Monday. I never had one of those Mondays. And that's quite cool to feel like that. I had those Mondays frequently when I worked at British Aerospace, interestingly, but never had them during the time I was working at what I used to call my passion project. So that's quite an interesting feeling that it brings as well. When I talk about it, I always feel good. Always. So that's something to bear in mind. When you talk about your passion, I'm not just asking you this, Anne, but everybody is listening to this. Mm-hmm. If you talk about your passion, how does it make you feel? What do you notice? What do you notice in here about the feelings that go with your passion, whatever it may be? I have a sister who's passionate about numbers. She's an accountant. I really don't understand it. I really, really do not get it. But yet, I know she has that passion. So all of our passions are quite different, and that's great. That's really cool. It's what makes the world so exciting. So how do you want to ask some more about that, Anne, or have I answered your question?
Yeah, I have the answer, and I think that your story and your example is perfect to identify how passion is important for us to live fulfilled and to live just to live. And I think that a lot of people, maybe you who are listening to us, think that when you find your passion, you have your passion because during your childhood, you have a lot of things that you think about and your passion grow with you. And when you're adult, you say, okay, it's just a passion. It's not a job. And I often hear some people say, oh, I would love to be an hairdresser. I would love, since my school year, I think that would love. But the parents say, oh no, it's not a work. You have to, you will do better for you. But it's passion. I met a woman, a client, since 3 years ago. She had 15 years old. And since a long time, she would love to be an hairdresser. And she decided to exercise, to use the skills, to use this passion to make her job, a great job. And she's famous right now in the city. She's famous because she's a little old by the others, but she brings originality. She makes a lot of colors in her salons. Her salon is very, very decorated. There are a lot of design, etc. And she's so passionate. She brings joy and smile every day. Every day you can just cross the street and see the salon, and you see, oh my God, the salon is not like the other one. That's the fact that I want to share with you all, that if you are passionate, you illuminate, you shine.
Yeah.
And that's why I encourage people to follow their passion. So another question maybe for you, Steve, in professional way inside. In your experience, how can someone integrate their personal passions into their professional life without compromising on either?
That can be sometimes a little bit difficult, can't it? Sorry, my screen is misbehaving. I just needed to look at a note. When we think about passion, or I think if you could survey 100 people and ask them to talk about passion, they would talk about passion in a romantic relationship. They would talk about passion for a hobby. So, for example, I've got a great example of that. I like to play electric guitar. I can play fairly well, not great, just okay. If I play a tune, you'll say, yeah, I know what that is, but I'm not passionate about it. I just enjoy it. It's okay. I'm not going to join a band. I've never joined a band because it's not something that I wish to do. It's just something I do to enjoy because it relaxes me, and I like the sound, and I love music anyway. But I'm not really passionate about it. When a guitar string broke in November or December last year, it took me until about a month ago to replace it because it's not a priority. It's just, okay, it's got a broken string. So I played with 5 strings for ages. And then I had to buy a new set of strings and put them on. So I was never passionate about that. So I couldn't bring music and guitar playing into my work as a therapist or as a coach. It just wouldn't really work. I could think about studying music therapy, but I'm not passionate about music therapy. I understand the value, and I know there's some amazing music therapists out there, but I'm not one of them. So it's not a passion for me. So I'm not going to go down that road. So I'm passionate about working with people, and it's with people that I make my money as well, incidentally, which is quite cool. So my passion enables me to earn money. I know somebody else whose passion is herbology. So the studying of plants as medicine and plants to help with health and all kinds of stuff. But her job isn't an herbologist. Her job is working in a medical profession, but she can't use herbs in what she does. So her passion doesn't fit her work. And interestingly, I know that she's not always happy at work because her work pays the bills. Her work means she's got to be there 5 days every week. She has to work long days some days till, for example, 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And she's not passionate about all of that stuff. I think if you said to her, okay, you don't need to do this work now because you can do your herbs and make the same money, she wouldn't need to think about it. She would switch in an instant because the passion is with the herbs. And I think the problem if you look at many people in the workplace, is that they're not working in something that they feel passionate about. And because they're not working in something they feel passionate about, it affects their self, their sense of self. It even affects health as well. It affects all kinds of things about us as individuals. if you look at somebody who's passionate in their work, as Anne said, they shine, they glow like this beautiful light. And I think that's one of the things we need to look for. We can develop a passion. We can have a passion. For example, I know somebody who's a salesman. He works for a big company in the US. He's a really, really great salesman. He tried to sell me something, and he didn't manage to do it because it was the kind of game we were playing. And I knew that I wasn't going to allow him to sell me what he was trying to sell. So we were kind of playing this game. But whilst he was going through the process of trying to sell me this thing, he was so there. He was 100% in that place. He was happy. His body language told me he was happy. His face, his facial expressions, everything said this guy is in the right place. This is what he loves to do. He loves more than selling. He likes connecting with the people who he's selling to. So you can kind of boil the passion down a bit. But that's interesting, isn't it? Because somebody who's passionate, like me, like him, is called David. Somebody who's passionate about working with the people, you can put us in any job, so long as we still have the connection with the people, our passion thrives. So let's think about that. So to everybody, what is your passion? Break it down into small parts. What is your passion? What's it made up of? Is it about working with people, or is it about working alone and never working with people? It could be. So what are the small parts of your passion? And do they fit what you're doing now? How do they fit what you're doing now? I'm not saying jump ship if they don't fit and look for a new job. But sometimes passion answers a lot of questions for us, or lack of passion as well. How does that feel to you, Anne? What do you think about those thoughts?
I think that we have a lot to tell about passion, and I used a passion like a passion test that it is very helpful, that creates a famous man. But this test is all about self-discovery, reflect on your interests, strengths, and values. But I cannot tell about that during this event. It's too long. But if anyone are interested in discover the passion and bring more interest, more feelings about what is a passion and how they can bring passion in their life, because people often ignore their passion and they need help and it's normal to need help because we forgot our passion. We forgot in the childhood, we forgot a lot of things. So if everyone are interested to know more, they can send me a message, react, put a comment for this video, and we will see during the next week how we can bring more information about passion, how we can bring some skills more, some insight. How do you think about that, Steve?
Yeah, I think that's a great thought, and yes, we can go with that absolutely. I was just thinking about some, excuse me, some other aspects of passion. So we could ask ourselves, I'm saying this to everybody, we could ask ourselves some questions. Does your passion drive you or push you to invest things like time in what you do? Does it give you energy? Does your passion give you energy, or at least what you think your passion is? Does it give you energy? I don't mean it makes you feel like you want to run a marathon, but does it make you feel up and kind of bouncy and ready to go for it, whatever it is? Does it make you feel like you want to put effort in? Or when I worked at British Aerospace, there was no passion there. It didn't make me want to put in any effort. It didn't give me energy. I was often late for work. I did my work when I was there, but I was often late. And I'm not that, if you knew me well, you would know that I'm not that guy. That is
True.
not me. So that's interesting. Does your passion give you fulfillment? Does it give you satisfaction? Do you find any of the things I've just mentioned in the job you're doing right now? What are they? Let's be aware of where our passion lies. And when an obstacle comes up, if it's an obstacle relating to my passion, do you know what? It's not an obstacle at all. It's something that has to be managed, sure, but it doesn't hurt. And it's not like, oh my goodness, I can't cope with that. My passion takes care of stuff. Some of my clients have really complicated stories. They really do. But my passion says, hey, I can help with this. And it's cool. So I know I'm using me as a personal example of
Yeah.
passion. I think it's worth thinking about. So, like Anne said, get in touch, drop us a message, leave us a comment, send an email, do whatever you've got to do to get in touch. We also had an interesting conversation just before we went live with this, which was interesting, that sometimes when you're qualified in any particular thing, it's difficult to ask for help. It's difficult to say, actually, I think I need a bit of support here. I have a personal, well, both Anne and I have personal examples of that. I had an accident years ago, and eventually it was recommended that I go see a clinical psychologist, and my gut reaction was, no way, I'm qualified to do that, and I do not want to talk to a psychologist. Thank you very much. I needed to get over myself to be able to talk about the challenges I had at that particular time. And it's hard. I don't mind admitting that. So don't be shy. And think about this. If you ask a question, you'll get a response. There is no such thing as a bad question, unless it's the question that you never bothered asking. That's the bad question. Think about it. Anne, would you like to finish? That's enough from me. I'll talk all day if you let me.
It's enough. We have a lot to tell. As I say, every event that we share together, we are so connected and so inspiring to inspire people to join us and to have questions, because we know that we can support you in your daily life if you cross issue, burnout, trauma, every single emotion that you cross, we cross by this emotion by themselves. So we know that what we live in your life right now, we have the same in your past. So that's the reason why Steve and me, we are very connected and we work together, because we know that we have all to help you. So passion is powerful force, as we say, that can transform both personal and professional lives. Stay true to what excites you and let your passion guide you towards fulfillment and success. And please set a message and be able to join us next week. We will have a powerful workshop together with Steve, and we'll talk about different insights around balance, around harmony in leadership, and we will course around authenticity, passion, and all that stuff. So stay tuned and join us for this powerful event next week.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks for today, Anne. It's been brilliant.
Thank you.
Again.
Bye-bye.
Everybody. Bye.